Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 86, and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at another one of the endurance races. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Suzuka Grand Prix, an event for R3 subclass race cars at the home of the Japanese Grand Prix. The first place prize is a GT500 Supra, and as you can see there is a bunch of other JGTC cars in contention for the lead on this one. The car we're going to be using for this is the car that you see on your screens currently. This is the Sonic JGTC Skyline, my personal favourites of the JGTC Skylines. And yeah, this is the one we're going to be using for this. So let's get straight into it. Of course, it's a Suzuka for 30 laps. So yeah, that's a lot of laps. These cars are pretty quick though, so hopefully this one shouldn't take too long. If I had to guess, probably about 50 minutes. About average for the endurance races. Also, again, I apologise if you can hear that wire slamming against my PC case, because that's the way this works. Anyways, hopefully we can get a pretty clean launch. Of course, the issue with JGTC cars are that they are extremely fragile, so hopefully we do not break anything by some stupid first lap stuff. I'm kind of surprised I didn't break the car on that bouncing off that skyline there. Anyway, so as you can see, the Supra is probably the quicker of the sort of cars you can use for this. Again, NSX's, Skylines and Supras are the cars eligible for this. I don't think there's any other JGTC cars in this game, although I could be wrong. I don't think the SC430... No, because they were still using Supras when this game came out, so... Yeah, it's just Supra, Skylines, and NSXs, and I believe the Supra's probably the quickest of them, so... last license test, hey! Also, I have no idea what's going on with your internet, Daniel. It seems like a problem you're sort of making up in your head more than an actual issue. So, I thought the mods won. Indeed they did. If you're still seeing what people are saying to you, there you go. If it's just people not speaking in the chat while I was gone, essentially. That's all that was, I would imagine. But there you go. Anyways, we have managed to make a clean break, and I guess it's just going to be like that for the rest of this race. Now, luckily for me, the JGTC cars are excellent handling, so this one's a little bit understeery. Still pretty good though. Yeah, these cars are usually pretty darn good handling, so yeah. I actually used a car very similar to this. In one of the events I used a Zanvi. I used the Zanvi Skyline for the JGTC. One of the races, I can't remember which one it was for. I think it was like GT Championship of Japan or something. I can't remember where that was. I think it was in like Manufacturers Club or something. I commented and it didn't update the chat. Yeah, it takes a few seconds to register. You've got to give things time. Especially if you're on, because I know you're on a bad internet connection anyway, so of course it's going to take some time to update. Obviously. Again, these cars are the sort of ones that get better handling as you sort of increase pace, so yeah, you got to sort of stay on the pace with this Skyline. Can't afford to go too slow. Otherwise, of course, you'll start losing that aerodynamic grip, which is sort of a key part to the way that these vehicles do drive. Of course, the only way to run a JGTC Skyline is, of course, in the fantastic Sonic livery. Again, this is my favourite of the liveries available for the R34. I appreciate the Pennzoil livery. It's very, very cool. I actually really like the Zanvi one in this game as well. But ultimately, in my opinion, the oh wait, I just remembered the 350Z, but I think technically isn't that a GT300 car? Or at least it's an R4, not an R3. Just came to think of that car, but yeah. This is probably my favourite livery for the Skyline in the game, so of course I had to use this livery. And of course I had to use this Skyline first, because that's sort of what the people voted for. Because Downforce Pro, indeed. In case you're curious, this was actually kind of a tight straw poll. I put the Supra, the NSX, and the Skyline into this. The NSX got like 1 or 2 votes, but the Supra and the Skyline were actually pretty close. Ultimately, 1 vote was between the the Skyline and the Supra. But ultimately I'm much happier to use the Skyline than the Supra. Like, the Supra's cool and all, but I just would prefer to use the Calsonic Skyline because Calsonic Skyline is best Skyline. Basically. Unless, actually, I kind of like the Godzilla as well. I unlocked pod racing. Hey! Also, in case you want some quick thing, Ethanol is playing GT Concept, so yeah, if he says stuff like that, don't mind him. Yeah, pod racing's kind of a fun little distraction in that game. I don't know if you have to complete that for 100%, but I know you have to complete it for 100%. I don't know if you have to complete it for the credits, but yeah, you may as well do pod racing anyway, because it's kind of fun. It's like 2 minutes, so I think my Let's Play episode on it was 5 minutes long, so that was certainly something. Anyways, right. So keep going on the. Oh god, right, sticky stuff. Right, give me a second, folks. Right. Anyways, carrying on. Also, I set a 2-minute lap time last time, so that's okay. So, actually, this is something I'll do. Those in stream chat, put in your predictions. How long, like, what time do you think my best lap's gonna be? So if I set a 2-minute on my first flying lap, put in your predictions as to what my best lap time will be by the end of this. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be able to get a 1:56. That's my prediction for lap time I'm gonna get. So you won the pod racing, hey! Yeah, put in your predictions as to what lap time you think will be better than Star Wars. Yeah. But the pod racing is amazing. I love it. I wish pods had returned in GT4, but sadly they didn't. Would it be so cool if like the pod was in GT4 and they like gave you it as a prize car for the K-Car Cup series? That'd be so cool. 1:57 best lap. Okay. 1:57 is definitely possible. I'm going to say 1:56, though, just to give me a reason to push myself a bit. Of course, we'll have to see how the Skyline copes with tyre degradation. Because I'm kind of curious to see how long it takes these cars to eat through their tyres. Hopefully, I can get away with just like another one of those one-stop races. You can tune the pods. Can you? Cool. Daniel, don't be a meme. It was a genuine question, not something that you can answer with a meme. Anyways. I actually really like the way the Skylines, or like the JGTC cars handle. They just looks like they're... That would have made things a little easier. Honestly, the pod race isn't that difficult, really. The only thing is just don't activate the handbrake, like in the handbrake zone. Don't activate that right at the start, because otherwise the AI will just punt into you and they'll stop your car lowering, so... Yeah, if you can avoid that, you'll be fine. But yeah, JGTC cars have great brakes, they have great turning. They can be a little tricky if you jump on them a bit too fast. 1:55 best lap. Ooh, okay. So 1:55, a 1:56 and a 1:57 is the guesses then. Tyres are at 25%. Yeah, so this might actually be a one-stop race. So that's pretty cool. I was not expecting that, but yeah. If we're only at 25% now, then by lap 15 we should be around 75%. So, unless the car starts handling atrociously once it starts chewing through its tyres, then yeah, we'll continue onwards. Anyways, by the looks of it, my best lap is going to be a 2-minute because, well, apparently I'm terrible at getting lap times right now. Whoa! Okay. That was not a fun experience. So, what car should I use for racing in GTC? Racing stuff. Well, I mean, what did I... Just go with whatever the hell I used in my LP, I guess. I tried to use the interesting cars, though. Just go for fast stuff. If you got the Cadillac CN, that's probably a decent choice because lots and lots of power. The Viper Racing Coupe is pretty good. For the rally racing, I think the cars are just to your level, but the Evo and the Impreza are quite good. The Hyundai is surprisingly good as well. You can also use the Mazda 6 touring car for dirt racing, should you want to, which is a bit of a weird choice, but you can do it. Yeah, I always found that very strange, like why the I think it's like that in GT4 as well. You can actually use the Mazda 6 touring car for rally racing, so if it is like that in GT4, then I'll probably end up using that as a rally car at some point, because why not? May as well take advantage of it. Go around here. Okay, alright. I'm just curious, what are the tyres like right now? 35, ooh, okay. So the accent is amazing to drive. The accent's pretty cool. For 35% or actually we may have to, this might be a 2-stop. I don't know. I think I might just do 2 stops anyway, just because it keeps the times going. Bro, enjoy school while you can. Believe me, adult life is worse than... Adult life is much worse than anything school will throw at you, I can assure you. Anyways. That was a terrible lap, although then again I had a terrible accident at the start of it, so... Try not to have such a terrible accent. See, I'm saying accent now. Accident this time around. In an hour and 48 minutes you shall have aged. Well then. You'll be able to celebrate your birthday on stream, Emile. Hopefully, anyway. Because I do want to record another episode after this. Because again, on the road to completion. Ooh, okay. There we go. But yeah. On the road to completion, so hopefully I can film another episode after this, because that'll bring us up to episode 87, and then that means tomorrow we've got 88, 89, and then the final episode, which is episode 90. So that should be fun. And yeah, I'm sure that'll be controversial as ever, because I've essentially, like, the CN sucks. Yeah, handling wise, yeah, but I mean power wise, it's pretty decent. Needs more grip. Well, I mean, the cheap way to do it would probably be to just use the race cars. I mean, if you want to go down that route, you can. The GTR LM is a pretty decent choice because 4-wheel drive. So, yeah, if you want to fly through the game, the GTR LM, because I actually really like the way that car handles as well. So, that'll probably be a decent choice. Anyways, we might actually be getting another very quick lap here. We'll have to see. 52, 53, 54, 55, 58.6. Okay. Last stream tomorrow. Last Forza 2 stream tomorrow, hopefully. Ford KA time. You won't win in the KA. It's got it hasn't got enough power. Especially if you're doing the trial mountain race, which I think is what you're doing. I found that out when I tried to use the NSX. If you don't have enough power, then you're just gonna lose. Just use race cars. Oh, you can do. But yeah, I think this stream, or I think that stream is going to be pretty controversial because, well, I decided to do away with the straw polls for the R2 races because there's 2 cars which I've been dying to use since the start of this series, and by golly, I'm going to be using them. So. Because, I mean, the straw polls didn't vote particularly well for him, but I'm like, sod it, it's my series, and if I want to use 2 specific cars, then I will use 2 specific cars. So, that's what I'm doing. I have 2, they're both Italian, I'll tell you that much about them. But yes. Anyways, so that would mean that, yeah, so episode 89 and 90 are straw poll, 87 and 88 aren't. This episode is straw poll, so, you know. Come around there. There we go. Again, hopefully you all enjoyed voting in the straw polls, because it'll probably be the last time I run something like that, particularly on this channel. Because I don't think I'm going to need it for GT3, because I have a pretty clear-cut path of what I'm doing. Again, feel free to recommend cars, but I don't mean I'm going to use them, essentially. I hate mods that time me out for no reason. Well, it's sure. I'm indifferent about it, I don't care at this point, but, yeah. Ooh, a 58-1, so, who said 157? I think it was Daniel. So right now he's looking like he is the most correct, but we will have to see. MC12, yep, the MC12 shall make its second appearance actually, because the MC12 appeared in road car form. Although I will be using the race car version of it. And then there'll also be something else. Which is again Italian. So you do straw polls and don't listen to them. No, I listen to the straw polls, it's just I had two clear-cut cars I wanted to use for the R2 races. I mean, I've listened to the rest of the straw polls. Oh, you said... I don't think you did. I think you said 155. Oh, I don't know. Whatever then. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. Because it... Oh, you said 155, fair enough. I mean, not that it matters, because ultimately I'm going to get 156 and I'll be victorious, so... You know, anyways. Once we're on fresh rubber anyway, of course. Because speaking of tyres, what are we at now? 58 on the front. So yeah, lap 10 will come into pits. Okay, you said 157, fair enough, whatever. Again, doesn't really matter because we're going to get 156, so... That is my self-goal. Hold up. Right. Hopefully we get no more distractions during this. That'd be nice. My eyes have seen the coming of the bro. Okay, LCR. Go, 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 go. Go, go. I like how far behind the enemy cars are. Like 112, Jesus. Anyways. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty short enduro. It's probably going to be one of the more enjoyable ones as well, because again, I get to drive cars I like. You know, the correct car won the straw poll. It's not like the time the 250 GTO won the straw poll, which was awful. Yeah, there you go, Daniel. If I didn't listen to the straw polls, believe me, the 250 GTO would not have happened. I guess the only real controversial straw poll was that first one with the Mazda Familia and the Eagle Talon, but whatever. Again, I said from the start, sort of, I am the tiebreaker when it comes to that sort of stuff, and if I decide that I don't want it, if I decide that the car isn't right, then, you know, oh, sorry, I get to decide. I just killed every other KA in this race. Did it literally put you in a race with KAs? That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. I decided to do that. Because usually it's not that kind. I was expecting it to just put you with the other cars that are that slow. And I think it's like the Lexus IS 300 is one of the slowest cars in that game. So I was expecting one of those to just eat you alive. But apparently not. Let's pop into the pits, because we may as well pit on this lap. It isn't looking like this is going to be a particularly good one. You didn't use the Talon. I know I didn't use the Talon. I used the Mazda Familia because it's a better car. Don't get too triggered about that now, because I mean, you know, that was a while ago. I can assure you in... I tell you what, Daniel. I can assure you in GT4, they'll probably... I think the Eagle Talon actually does have to be used. I don't know if there's a manufacturer race for the Talon. I think there might be, so it might pop up. You must use the Talon in GT3. But bro, the Talon isn't in GT3. I don't think it is anyway. It might be. I don't think it is. No, it's not. The Talon became a thing in GT4, not GT3. So, if it was in GT3, I would probably find somewhere to use it. I might use like a... I don't know if it's... Is there even eclipses in GT3? GT3's got a pretty hollowed out carless, so... I don't even think there might not even be eclipses. I'm not sure on that though. But yeah, I will probably use a Talon at some point if it pops up, just because what? Talon in GT games suck. Well, also remind yourselves, Talon is apparently blacklisted, so, you know. 138 horsepower front wheel drive. Well, I mean, that's the same as a PT Cruiser, and admittedly the PT Cruiser is technically one of the best starter cars in GT3. In fact, it's one of the only starter cars in GT3, but besides that point, I never got to customize the Talon. Well, I mean, you know, if you're here tomorrow on the final... In fact, actually, we might do that at the end of this stream. I don't know. I don't mind just... Because I've got one in my garage. I wanted to customize the Talon. Hey, if you want to do it, then we might do it at the end of this streaming session. Because it would just give me something to do. Again, that's not going to be for another while yet. Because I do want to... Again, I do want to get quite a few races done tonight, but still. I thought there was a 200 horsepower PT Loser. There's a 220 horsepower one, that's the GT Turbo, but the one in Gran Turismo is just, I think it's like a standard PT, like the 2 litre. Oh no, it's got the 2.4 litre engine. The GT Turbo has the engine out the SRT4, so it's got the slightly upgraded, bigger engine. I might not be here at the end of this stream though. Well then. RIP. No Talon customization ever then, Kappa. Maybe that should be our finale for Forza 2. Basically, my plan is tomorrow to just sort of have a nice chilled stream. What we'll do tomorrow is we will probably finish the game, have a car buying bonanza, and then probably just finish off with some Talon destruction, I guess. Just to send this series off. I don't know whether to do a car buying bonanza before or after. I'm not going to split off its own thing because I basically want... I want episode 90 to be the last episode. So I might run a car buying bonanza like at episode 89. Maybe. I might even... I don't know. Depends how many cars we've got left to buy. Because I could do with figuring out. I need to figure out what time. What time for what? There we go. Apparently I'm getting much better at driving this track now. I'm just a bit slow through... I'm a bit slower through the S's than I'd probably like to be. That's probably hurting my lap time a little bit, but still. 155, 156, 157.9. Right, I'm going to go full hot lap mode. I apologise, I'm not going to read the chat for 2 minutes. Because I'm probably going to go for it. And before I just moved my head and looked at the chat anyway. Right, let's go for this throttle. This is probably the best lap to go for a good time because, well, tyres are fine. What time will I be streaming tomorrow? Around 7ish, I would imagine, as usual. 7ish, 8ish, and probably be streaming for around 3 and a bit hours. Every time I come to the street, it always turns to chaos. Yeah, but I'll be the finale of Forza Motorsport 2, so... yeah, I'm heavily looking forward to it, believe me. It's been a long time coming. It really has. So I don't think this is going to be the quickest lap somehow. I think I've made a few too many errors. Do you think you could insure a Copon as your first car? Probably not. It's convertible, it's two-seater. I'm sorry, like, I hate to crush Stream. I crushed Squid Streams because he was like, man, I really want to find a Suzuki Capsino as my first car. And it's like, yeah, that's not happening. What about an MX-5? Nope. None of those K-car little convertibles are, like, it's a convertible, so instant no. Unless, like, getting a Fiat 500 convertible, there is no way you'll be able to insure a convertible. I've looked at MX-5s, they're expensive. I've looked at Ford Pumas, they're incredibly expensive. Also, you're in the pits. Oh, hold up, what's this? A 156.2, is it? Oh boy. There you go. And now time to deliberately slow down, because I was right. A 156.2. Well, there we go, ethanol was wrong. Alright, we are coming up to AI cars now, so we do have to be a bit careful. So we don't crush ourselves on those cars, essentially. Is that the Zamvi Skyline in last place? Interesting. No idea what's happened. I wonder if these two have come together at some point, maybe. They're not smoking or anything, but I don't know, let's find out. Have you had issues? Don't look like it. Oh, and it's the Calsonic. What about one of those four-wheel drive turbo key cars? If it's imported, no fucking way. Essentially. Like, there is no way you're going to be able to get one if it's imported. Simple. Because import cars are, I think they're like 10% more expensive to insure. Anyways. And they probably won't even bother until you're like 21, so. Also past the Calsonic Skyline, and before he gets to 155, well then. Well bro, I won't get 155, because if it looks like I will, I'll slow down. No, I won't. Because, again, I'd rather get a 155, to be honest with you. As much as it would prove you right and prove me wrong, it would be nicer to get a 155, but there you go. Car behind is almost a second behind, oh, almost a lap behind. Jesus. Again, I'm still running them on easy difficulty just because it makes my life a hell of a lot simpler. So, yeah. Also, that's going to be a 159, so, I don't know if it, does penalties add on to the race timer? I haven't really been paying that much attention. I don't think they do. I'd imagine they don't, so. I want Eclipse. Yeah, that's not happening. I think we'll get a 156.2. But bro, technically it's a 156.3 because it's 52, which would, in most lap time cases, make it a 156.3. Of course, on full Top Gear laps, we don't do that because cars, I don't want cars getting essentially the same time, so, because you have to write on the leaderboard stupidly, so I put the exact time they get on the leaderboard, essentially. That's my thing. Anyways. Definitely won't be getting best lap on this lap, because I've already got a time penalty. So, you know. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Yeah, I'm plus 2 seconds down, so even if I didn't get that time penalty, it would be like, oh hey, you're still 0.7 of a second down, so. You know, you know. There we go. Nicely, nicely. Get wrecked, ethanol. Bro got wrecked. I don't know. Anyways. Or roasted, as the kids say. I don't know. So yeah, the two Skylines are down in second and last and second to last. I don't know what the rest of the cars are at. Wait, that's not the same Skylines, is it? That can't be, surely. Nope, that's a Supra and a Supra. Well then, could I insure Dome Zero? Don't know how to break this to you, buddy, but I actually could have been a quick lap if I didn't get the penalties. Don't know how to break this to you, buddy, but the Dome Zero kind of didn't exist. Like, that wasn't a thing, so... Like my new icon. Again, I can't tell what it is because it's so small. I could tell what the other one was because Keemstar is pretty obvious. Also, 216 for the car behind. So if I'm that's a 216 behind, that means we've lapped everyone. We'll probably lap everyone twice, I would imagine. Just because of the way these work. Whoa, okay. That was going to be a promising lap, and then I still went off the track. This does happen occasionally, so I'm not too fussed by that. I'm not too disheartened. Dome Zero isn't real. It's a concept car, but they never fully made it because, well, look at it. It's a bit too funky looking to be made. It's kind of like a DeLorean crossed with a Ferrari. It's a weird car. I know who your clone was. I probably do too. I think everyone does at this point. It's fairly obvious. So, because if we had to deduct sort of possibilities, it's not Daniel himself, as we now know. Because he can only be on a phone. It's not Pro, because Pro is out trying to get ladies. And well, it's obviously it's Happy. I mean, duh. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious, really. Like, nope, there we go. Don't say it, but bro, it's obvious. Like, ridiculously obvious. Because it definitely wouldn't be Q, because Q doesn't do it. Damn it. But bro, it's obvious. Like, it's not a big deal. Who cares, anyway? He's dead now. He's gone. He's banned. Yeah, see, even Daniel thought he was happy. Like, the jig is up. The time is up. The time is now. I'm gonna sneeze again. Excuse me. Alright. Jesus. Oh, that was a sneeze and a half. Oh, it's another robot. Oh, I think you were saying the other day, unless you've changed it again. I think you have changed it again, because it doesn't look the same. Honestly, from here, it just looks like Stormtrooper, so... You're talking to a person who I thought I worked on Robot Wars, and you're saying it was obvious. I'm saying I thought it was obvious. I'm not sure about him. Whether he actually thought it was obvious, because I can't speak for him. But, you know. Whatever. I mean, you could have worked on Robot Wars. We don't know. You could have been one of those kid mascots that most of the teams have. Which are they literally to say, I created this robot. And then cry when it gets murderized by Matilda. Essentially. Fucking Daniel with the savagery. Well then. I just realised that at this current rate we're going to be about 6 minutes in front of the car behind by the end of this race. Which is pretty terrifying when you think about it. Also, what are my tyres like? I don't know, let's find out. 56%, okay. Again, I'm going to pit in on lap 20. And then that'll be just a straight run to the finish. Pretty straightforward endurance race, this one, by the looks of it. No real mishaps or anything, to be honest with you. Just a calm, clean endurance race, which is what I like to see. because of course I prefer when the endurance races are just sort of, you know, a nice relaxed sort of thing. Because endurance races are long and stuff, and yeah, I don't really know what more I can say than that. I have a bit of an itch on my scalp, because my scalp sort of needs it. Right. Yeah, I think we were going. So, judging by current progress, I'm going to be streaming for about 4 hours tonight. Yay. My favourite robot was in the first round. Well then. Next race for GTC in a Copon. I thought you said you were speedrunning this game. You're literally finding the, like, longest way to go through it. Which is interesting. So, you know, the way I'd do it, but there you go. Although, to be fair, my current plans for GT3 are buy big fast race car front wheel drive, buy big fast race car rear wheel drive, buy a Scudo for all wheel drive. There you go, there's my 3 cars done for that series. No, I'm joking. I'm going to try and use a different car each and every race, as I usually do. Although I will probably end up using the Scudo for a few things at some point, because the Scudo is God car, essentially. As we all know, of course. Anyways, 256 behind on lap 18 of 30, so 19, 20, get on good tyres. Yeah, we should be able to take him by about 5-6 minutes, which is going to be pretty amazing. I mean, I appreciate they're on easy, and I'm a better driver than easy, but again, they're just sort of there on easy, just so when it comes to the race cars, especially once we start getting... Apparently my phone is unhappy. Once we start getting into R1 racing, you know, that's definitely when it starts getting... all I want is MR2s. I think there's an MRS in that game, that's about it. But yeah, anyways, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, there is MR2s in GT3. Actually, come to think of it, how much is the AW11 in that game, and if it is, how much is it? Because that actually wouldn't be a bad idea as a first car. Because supercharged one, yeah, I think the supercharged one, if I'm remembering this rightly, which I don't think I am, but still, if the AW11's like 17 grand, then if it's the supercharged model, that might actually be a good shout for the first car. No one cares. Well then, savagery again. Lap 19. Lap 19. We might pit on this lap actually, because why not? 3 minutes behind. 3 minutes and 3:43. Again, ethanol, seriously, buddy. Because oh, I get you on GT3. I thought you meant like real life. I was about to say, bro, have you not listened to my words of wisdom? No AW11. Ew. Damn it. I was going to say that would actually be a decent shout, but there you go. Because good first car. SW20 is too expensive, and I would assume the ZZW30 is more in the 20s. You basically need to find something for 18 grand, and there really isn't a lot. Probably just use a Vitz. Is that what you're gonna go with? Again, I don't think the Vitz is a good idea. Like, the Vitz, it's like the MX-5, it just hasn't got enough power. Like, that's my theory behind the PT Cruiser being one of the better ones, is sure it weighs quite a bit, but it's got 150 horsepower, and one of the first races is at Super Speedway. And that will really help out, so... There we go. Anyways, yeah, I guess Pete's... Like, it probably... I don't know. I would assume someone's made some, like, statistical analysis. I don't even know. No. If there was an AW, don't you think I would have asked, like, 30 times? I get your point. You know when you've watched too much Robot, when Emile said you going into the pit, you think of the pit. Yes, you've watched too much Robot Wars and too much... But I don't know what the other one's called, the silly American version of it. I don't even know if they have a pit on that one. I don't know. I refuse to watch it. Because I'm dumb. But yeah, I get your point. Although an AW11 in that game would definitely be a cool thing. Yeah, the AW11 only has 142 horsepower, but it weighs nothing. So it's got more power than the PT Cruiser and less weight. So, I mean, you know. I was about to say, why am I only going 8 miles an hour? Like, seriously? I think some bits of that pit stop were botched, but whatever. Doesn't really matter because, well, guess what? We're on fresh rubber. And this is the rubber we are on until the end of the race now. So, yeah, that's it. That's the final pit stop I'm going to be making in this race. In fact, that's the final pit stop of this stream, I guess, because, you know, don't have to pit in the professional series, do I? So, there we go. Just come around here. Alright, 20 out of 30. Approximately 20 more minutes to run. I still think this Enduro is going to be under an hour, but I don't think it'll be by much. Only 142 horsepower. 142 horsepower is more than most cars on sale in Britain, so... Or most cars that people actually buy, I should say. I mean, hell, 142 horsepower is more than... probably, like, base model Bimmers, so... We're, of course, talking about the crappy Bimmers, you know, 3 Series, so... The Talon has 190. I don't think it has that much. I think it has like 170, 180. Something like that. I don't know. I can't really say I paid too much attention to that car's stock, so... In fact, I can't really say I paid too much attention to that car in general. The Talon has sort of always been that car in Forza that just sort of exists. Like, it has no purpose, no one really bothers to use it, no one really cares about it, it's just sort of there in a racing game that's low. Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to first cars in GT3, like, again, the maximum you can get, even if you do the license tests, like, properly, I think Rhino used the MB. If I can get my hands on an MB, that would probably be a good idea, but... That involves doing golds in the license tests, and I can't be asked to do that, so... I mean, if it happens... Like, on GT1, ooh, it just sort of happened. They said it had 190. Yeah, but that's the older Talon, so... Apparently, the Talon has multi-link rear suspension. Nice, as much as... I mean... Still don't make it a great car. I mean, the first gen Eclipse wasn't that highly well received, I guess. I'm sure if you tried to look at them on eBay, they'd probably just be a bunch of Brian Eclipse rip-off whatevers, because you know how this works, pretty much. I used the Talon. Okay. I'm sure like 50 people do, but I'm sure I speak for the majority of people when I say most people probably don't. So, yeah. I doubt most people really care all that much, so. Yeah, that's a thing. Speaking of things, I have an idea for something I should probably do for Top Gear Laps this week, so I'll have to make a video on that later, I guess. Dank Maybays. The Maybays, they are so dank. Ah, I don't know. Anyways. Oh, God. Right. Coming on to a lap 22 of 30. 8 more laps to go after this. And then 1 professional series. And then I'm done for the night. And then hopefully back tomorrow with stream and finish game and happiness and, you know, all that good stuff. I haven't even been keeping an eye on the fuel level of this car. I assume it's been alright though. I think these cars are pretty decent fuel tanks from what I remember. So, yeah, this should be decent enough on the petrol. Stream isn't updating again. Oh well. To be fair, again, no one's been saying anything, so... God, quite tired. Every fibre on my being wants me to stop streaming after this thing, but it's like, bro, I must carry on. I need to finish this game. Need to. So close. Oh, are you leaving now? Goodbye. Although, again, I think you should probably calm down on that, bro. Like, seriously, I don't think it's that bad. Again, no one's saying anything. Like, that's the thing. But whatever. Just me and you now. Yes, indeed it is. Because it's quite late, apparently. Jesus. Hey, we're 3 minutes in front of the car behind, apparently. Which is nice. It's a nice thing. I have a headache at the moment. I'm staying up late. Fair enough. According to the stream, we still have... Well, we have 4 viewers in the Elgato thing, but I think that stopped working a long time ago. We have 3 viewers on the actual stream itself, so... Hey, if you're one of those people who are viewing the stream right now, then get involved in the chat if you like, because I'd recommend doing that, because it's a right old time. Also, you'd give me something to speak about, which would be nice, so... Yeah, it'd be nice to see a new face in the chat, I guess. I don't know. I assume most people probably buggered off by now, because it's quite late. Unless you are American, in which case it's not that late. So, whoop, there we go. Drove over the curb. As you do. As you do. Right. I have noticed, I haven't really been catching the other cars recently. I don't know if it's just my fuel stops or my driving in particular started to fade a bit, but... Yeah, it's a little bit strange that apparently we're quite far behind, so... Well, not far behind, sorry, like... Honestly, I should be about 4 minutes in front of the car behind now, so I don't really know what's going on there, so... It's a little bit strange, but... I don't know, maybe the AI have just got tired of, watching... Yeah, 3 people watching according to YouTube, yeah. Yeah, so the stream stayed fairly active, because usually it gets to the point where it's like just literally one person and they're the person talking in chat, but there's still 3 people watching, which is quite good. I assume most people are running this in the background, as most people do. Also, we're coming up to our Skyline chums, who have been at the back of the pack this entire time. Apparently the Cal Sonic is now the slowest car on the field, so the Cal Sonic is both the slowest and the fastest car on the field, which is interesting. It is actually kind of interesting that the Skylines are at the back, because usually when it comes to the GTC racing on this game, the NSX is the much slower car than it. In fact, the NSX in general on this game actually appears to be quite slow, which is a bit strange, but I don't know why, but apparently in this particular race the Skylines are the slowest, and they are by a relatively sizable amount. As we go around the side of Motoyama, let's get him on the brakes, there we go. Nice, right. Again, running off the road, because of course that's what we do. Because there's a truck. There's a rubber nose again. Anyways. 316 is the car behind. Again, I would like to get 10,000 feet on him. I guess if he goes into the pits, I would do that. Which maybe they have right now, or they've just come to a corner or something. That distance indicator is, no, they haven't. Never mind. Yeah, it's a bit strange. 319 on the car behind, so... I'm hoping we'll lap him again at some point. I don't know if we will or not. Again, I think my driving's starting to suffer a little bit, so... That's the thing that's happening. Alright. As we go through there. Go over there. Go over there. Someone has pulled into the pits. Is that the NSX? Yes, it is. Alright. So the Supras are definitely the most dominant force here, as we probably knew from the start, like, but... Yeah, Supras are definitely dominant. By the looks of it, we are going to cash in a 156.2. That is going to be our quickest lap of the day. I can't see us beating that right now, because my driving's starting to suffer. And there's 5 laps to go as well, so yeah. What's your favourite race car of all time? Probably the 787B, I guess. The Suzuka is pretty darn cool as well. It would be one of those two. Suzuka is probably my favourite rally car of all time. 787B is probably my favourite race car. I like a lot of race cars. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. 787B is the only one I can really think of right now. I do like some others, of course. Jaguar XJR9 is very, very cool. I like the Calistotic Skyline. I, interestingly enough, really like the Lotus Elise GT1, because I feel sorry for that car. Porsche 911 GT1. The CLK GTR as well. Just, I think in general, my favourite time of racing is the 90s, because basically every... Ooh. Damaged the front aero. Interesting. In case you're curious there, I don't know what I went to go do, but apparently I hit the keyboard, which was not a smart thing to do, so... Yeah, we're not even... I'm gonna get damaged apparently now, which is a bit of a shame, but whatever. 850R, yeah, I mean, I like the 850R a lot. It's my favourite wagon of all time. It's also... It's definitely up there, but... I think the 787B for me is just more iconic in my mind. Like, orange and green livery just cannot be beaten. The 850R is definitely iconic to me though. I think, like I said, in general I think the 90s is my favourite time for racing because I had the best touring cars, you know. You had the 850R, the Peugeot 406, Renault Laguna, Honda Accord, you know, all of them are awesome. You know, you had the Pikes Peak amazing cars. You had, of course, the Evo versus Impreza. And even before that, you had, like, Delta and the Celica GT4 with the Castrol livery. You had the 787B in Le Mans. You had the GT1, which unfortunately didn't win anything. You had GT racing in general, stuff like the CLK GTR, the 911 GT1. You know, the Cerberus Speed 12, although that didn't really come to fruition. You had all those great cars, so 90s is definitely my favourite era of racing. As far as my favourite touring car of all time, you probably might be onto something with the 850R. Did you know the 850R never won a race? Are you sure about that? I'm fairly certain it won a Constructors' Cup or something at some point. I know Volvo was relatively successful in BTCC. I think the S40 did pretty well, from what I remember. But I think the 850R definitely came close. I think it came third best. I could have swore it won a championship in like 94 or something like that. Oh, I forgot as well. Alfa Romeo 155 was a BTCC car. I think the 156 appeared at some point as well. But yeah, oh yeah, DTM racing as well because bro. Also, Subarus are in the pits, which oh hey, we've actually racked up 10,000 feet on the Supra. Which is nice. I think the Supra might be in the pits. I'm not actually sure if he is. I don't think the lead Supra is in the pits just yet. In fact, I think this might be him just ahead, so... He is 3:44. Jeez. We've almost got 4 minutes on this guy. So, unfortunately, it's not quite the 5 minutes that I wanted it to be, but it's still a pretty decent margin when you consider it. But yeah, Ethanol, just have a... I'm not sure about the 850R, man. I could have swore that won a race, but maybe it didn't. Either way, it's still a cool car. I will say, as far as favourite touring cars, though, I actually really like the modern Civics that they're running right now. The you know, now that they're back in Halford's liveries, those Civic Type Rs do look amazing. In case you're curious about my favourite team in British touring cars, then yeah, Halford USA Racing, duh. They are like the best right now. Because Honda. And the front wheel drive cars have had a hard time this year as well, because if you had to enter a drift competition, what car would you take? A BMW Isetta. I don't ever want to enter a drift competition. If I had to answer the question seriously, I mean, I don't follow drifting at all, because I don't care. BRZ probably would be my choice. They're good drift cars, aren't they? I'll find an article on the 850 and put it in Discord after stream. Okay, fair enough. Sounds like a plan. Ooh, which Supra is in the lead? Oh, it's Wakisaka. So, Orido has just jumped in the pit, so Wakisaka is just in front. And I don't think he's pit yet, so, interesting. So that, of course, means we are going to lap Wakisaka for the second time. I believe this is the most successful... Actually, no. D-Class Enduro, I think we did lap quite a lot more than this, but as far as, like, sort of racing car Enduros, this has definitely been the most successful one so far. Although, this might be the first one I've ran on easy, although I'm not sure. Yeah, definitely one of the more successful. I can feel the Skyline starting to lose a little bit of grip now, but she's almost at the end now. Almost at the end. As we try and take Wakisaka. Oh, I broke my side aero. Okay. Oh, well. I've got to take a drink in a minute. Because I've got something stuck in my throat. Anyways, lap 28 of 30. Almost at the end. Almost. Not quite, but almost. It's been a pretty decent Enduro, actually, though. I have suitably enjoyed this particular endurance race. Unfortunately, just a few mistakes towards the end mean I have damaged the car, but, excuse me, it's gone a lot better than most of these Enduros end up going, so that's nice. And, in fact, most of these races in general, so... For what reason, my Diet Coke kind of tastes like Stella, which isn't a particularly nice thing. I haven't had any Stella in that glass ever, so I don't know why the hell it tastes lagery, but it does, so. Not that it really matters, I guess, because... Come on, pit. Is Wakisaka pitting? He is. Ooh. Alright. We are going to have to... in fact, we're going to do pretty darn well out of this, I think. But yeah, BRZ would be my choice for the whole drift competition question. How do you record PS2 games? AV2 HDMI adapter. It's not the best. Quality isn't amazing because AV. I could use Component, but Component appears weird and I don't have Vegas to edit that out. Also, it's a bit pixely for me. I'd much prefer AV2 HDMI. Also, I can stretch the, or overscan on the Elgato, which is nice. So yeah, I use AV2 HDMI. It's a little box, you can buy it on Amazon. It's like, I think I paid 10 quid for it, but it's always on offer. You essentially just plug your yellow, white, reds into it, plug a HDMI cable into it. You can switch between 720p and 1080p on the actual box itself. And yeah, it's been fairly reliable for me. It's been a pretty decent... thing. Of course I record PS1 in Component, but that's just because playing PS1 games through my PlayStation 3 is much easier. and PS3 sort of records in the with the PS3 adapter, which is a component cable. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely, I recommend the AV2 HDMI. Did you not record any PS2 games, Ethanol? Or have you not started the, I thought you already had a way of recording it, because I thought you had your, you was planning your, oh god, whatever it's called, the thing. Road Trip Adventure, not LP walkthrough, LP thing, whatever it's supposed to be. Anyways. 4:47 is the car behind, so can I get 13 seconds? Also, Hattori's in the lead now, so that's interesting. If I don't make any mistakes, I want to get 5 minutes on this guy. Hopefully, I get 5 minutes on this guy. I really want to. Don't know if I will. I definitely won't be setting a new fastest lap, because the car is a little bit poorly now. The tyres are very poorly. You can't record PS2? Yeah, just buy the box, like I said, off Amazon. It's a pretty good shout. If you've just got standard Elgato game capture, it comes in black and white. What are you using? If it goes for... If you're using the component cable, then that's exactly the same issue that I had. Oh, I know what you need to do. Are you using the Elgato component? Oh, you have Road Trip Adventure for PS3, fair enough. If you're using the Elgato cable, then go onto your PS2's system settings and make sure you have... Ooh, Christ. It's on the PS Store. I know, I bought a physical copy of it for the PS2, so... Go onto your PS2 system settings. If you boot up without game, go into system configuration. If you scroll down, I believe there's a thing for like display mode, and you have to switch that to either RGB. No, it's not RGB. It's the one that I can't remember what it is. It's like 5 letters though. I think it's like YPT-BR or something. Switch it to that, and then it'll appear fine. I still don't like the way component appears through PS2, genuinely. I tried to record some Gran Turismo 4 with the component cable. I wasn't happy with it, but yeah, that's why I'm going to be using AV to HDMI for GT3 until I can find a better solution. Also, 4:58, so yeah, I think I was in front of that car by about 4:59 by the end. Anyways, 1 hour and 1 minute for that endurance race. 384,000 credits. Means, of course, we level up the car to maximum level. And, well, I'm not going to read through most of this because we've got, like, affinity with Nissan several times. So, yeah. It's pretty explanatory what we're going to get for that. I'm fairly certain you get the same upgrades free every time, so... Anyways, for completing that race, we get 120,000 credits bonus, and our prize car is the Exxon Superflow Supra, which has a lion on it for some reason. Or tiger, sorry. Interesting. Anyways, friends, that is it for this episode of the Forza Motorsport 2 Let's Play. In the next episode, we're going to be taking a look at another one of the professional events, so join me for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, a farewell.